Hello and welcome to the Love Talk Show. Last week we had a very nice topic here, which was what women look for in a man.
Yes, and they said it all. It was very nice.
Very interesting topic.
Very interesting. Let's take a look at what happened here last week.
What do women look for in a man?
Money is like blood, you also need it to survive. Cost of living is high, so you need money at the end of the day.
Money is not everything. And if you're working, you're independent, you're not depending on a man for that.
So responsible and committed, right?
Yeah. For me, being faithful is the number one.
I like intelligent men. I'm sorry.
He's trustworthy.
And you're not even married. Imagine after the
When you were single, you thought, I want this in a man, and now it's not important to you anymore.
So there you have it, a whole panel of women. But today's our turn, right, man?
Absolutely.
How are you today?
Good, great.
Good.
Great.
So we have here Charles, who is Daisy's husband,
Yes.
right? We have Paul, who is Bruna's husband, and Alex, who is Dulce's fiance, because you're ready to go.
Ready to go.
And we have Emiliano,
Yes.
who is the bachelor of the group.
Exactly.
And they are sitting exactly where their respective partners are sitting.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
So is that seat a bit hot? So, and we have them here with us today to help us find out what men look for in a woman.
Indeed, but before we get really into that, let's take a look at the questions you have sent to us this week. It's time for Dear Love Talk.
And now it's time for one of our most preferable segments of the show, which is Dear Love Talk, where we have the chance to answer any questions related to relationships. Be you single or married or in a relationship, you can send your questions to questions@lovetalkshow.tv and we will answer your questions. Not necessarily related to the topics that we discuss in the show, but any other situation that you may be going through or that you went through and you need some advice, some guidance.
Yeah, you can do it through the email, and some people even do it through our social media. So just look for us, it's Love Talk Show on Facebook, Instagram, and we will get your answer or your question, answer you there or here on Dear Love Talk.
Keep those questions coming, okay? So let's go into the first question in today's show, okay? First question, I saw on your Facebook that the next topic of the show will be, what do men look for in a woman? And people left comments saying many nice things in regards to character, personality, etc. They look for in a woman. But I have an issue with this. I tend to go for the looks, like face and body. How can I look past that? Well, indeed, that's an issue that you may have, because the answer is already in the question or in the comment that you just made or in the comments that you read on our Facebook page. That's pretty much it. It comes to a decision. It comes down to putting to practice what we teach. Intelligent love. Intelligent love. Intelligent love teaches us that there is much more than to what the eye can see. So nothing wrong with the appearance. There's nothing wrong with the appearance. I think you both men and women, they will look for someone who takes care of his own appearance, because a person who looks after his appearance shows some sort of discipline, some sort of care about himself and herself.
Self-love even.
Yeah, self-respect and so on and so forth. Now, having said that, that doesn't mean that's all you have to, that's not the only way to address the situation, by just looking at a person and judging from the outside. You need to know the person. As you mentioned in the comment that was left in our Facebook page, character, what else was there?
Personality.
Personality. If you are compatible, there are a few things you have to know, because anyone can disguise behind the makeup, anyone can disguise or hide behind a nice outfit.
Yeah, and I think the problem here is a little bit deeper than just, I look and I base myself on the person's appearance, on the girl's appearance. I think it's the way you see relationship in general, because you are not, just that question shows that you are not really looking into the future. Mm-hmm. You're not looking ahead. You are looking right now. Right now is nice to have a relationship with this person because this person looks nice. Attraction is essential in a relationship. Yeah. It's true. You can't have a relationship with someone you're not attracted to at all. Attraction has its part, it's very important, but you have to understand that if you are looking at the future, give it 20 years, 25 years. Yeah. That beauty that you see today will fade. It's unavoidable.
It's like a passion fruit, right? When you buy the passion fruit, it's so smooth and nice. So leave it in the refrigerator for what?
Not refrigerator, leave it in the cupboard.
Leave it in the cupboard, yes. For a few weeks. You're gonna see what's gonna happen to the passion fruit. It's not gonna look so attractive. So, as you put it very well, if you're looking into a long-lasting commitment, if you're looking into a long-lasting relationship, then you can't just base your decision to be with someone on what you see. You have to consider character, habits, personality, compatibility, and so on and so forth. Because, a person may look good one day, but the other day that person won't look that good, right? Yeah, we can look nice for each other, for a day or for a period of time, but soon all these will go away. And then we're going to reveal our true selves. So that's a bit silly to go by appearance. You have to go beyond that. And as you read in the comment, dig a bit more. Now, you said you have a problem with that. That's something that you have to solve yourself. You have to make that decision to not base your decisions on your emotions, on what your eyes can see, but base your decisions on intelligent love. Use your head. Put everything together, the whole package together, so you can have a long-lasting relationship, and you may have that relationship with the right person, with the person who will, with you, form a team. Mm-hmm. Because if you marry the wrong person, just because you're based on appearance, then that relationship will not last long.
And it's so common that people, they base a relationship on attraction, on that thing, that love at first sight. Mm-hmm. I liked, that person is the one. If you do that, to the point where they ignore certain signs. I was going to say that now. It's like one of the most.
Steal your thunder.
No problem. You forget the most important things. One, is that person compatible with you? Mm-hmm. Two, do you have the same goals? So people think, I'm attracted to this person, it's going to work. There is that chemistry.
I'm going to give a very easy example. Nowadays, if you want to buy anything online, usually people who know how to buy online, what do? They read the reviews, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you see a product, okay, very nice. Let me see what people are saying about this product, or a restaurant, or a particular brand, you name it. So you go for the reviews, you see what people are saying, how many stars are people giving to that particular product. What are people saying? How many negative comments? How many are positive comments? Because if you just go for what you see on that picture,
you think it's wonderful.
You might have the chances are that you will buy that, or you go to that place and get disappointed. Mm-hmm. Likewise in relationships, you can't just go for the label, for how it looks. You have to see the reviews. Mm-hmm. You may have to ask some people about that person, parents, friends, observe a bit more. That's why talking is essential when dating, when getting to know someone, because during that time you'll be able to to get to learn a lot about the other person, so that you can make your decision later on and not just on what you see.
It's like an article I read some time ago that this couple got married, and then on the honeymoon, and the next day, well, he didn't have the next day, but right after, they got married, they went to their honeymoon, the husband wanted to divorce the wife because she removed her makeup. And,
Unbelievable.
And then, no, but then that's the thing. Well, maybe it is, but it was an article. She never let him see her without makeup. So with makeup, she was very pretty. And then on the next day when she removed it, okay, I didn't marry this person. So you see, of course, she has her own issues, but he married her based on that, on the appearance. So they don't have the appearance that I thought. I will forget and forsake all the rest because all I wanted is this, and this does not make a relationship last.
There you go. You have your answer right there. Check the reviews, okay? Don't just go by what you see, okay? So keep your questions coming. You can send them to questions@lovetalkshow.tv, and we will answer your questions in this segment in our next show. Hello, our YouTube viewers. We are the presenters of the Love Talk Show.
I am Rafa.
And you know who I am, Luke. And we are here to encourage you to share this channel with your friends, your family members. Invite them to watch our shows, because our desire is to help couples and singles do better in their relationships or future relationships. So subscribe to this channel, share on your Facebook page, share the link with everyone you know, so that they can learn intelligent love.
Also, leave us our comments and your questions.
Welcome back to the Love Talk Show, and just before the break, we introduced to you our panel, which is completely formed by
I am absolutely surrounded.
And today you were surrounded.
Yes, I'm
like
here just gonna read social media comments because, well, as you can see, I'm the only woman here.
Today we want to know what men look for in a woman, and they're going to be helping us with the topic, right? Yes. And I would like to ask you, Paul, first. How long have you been married to Bruna?
Well, in December, we're going to be 3 years married.
3 years married.
Yeah.
And then, what is your take on the topics, on today's topic? What do men look for in a woman?
Well, I think at first, appearance is something that is like really important when we take a look and see, I think that's my match. That's how I actually met my wife. I was holding a camera because I used to take pictures, and I was like just taking pictures out of anything that I saw. And then I saw her in the middle of the crowd, and I started taking pictures of her. And that's how I
without
her.
Her consent.
Yeah, exactly.
A little bit of a paparazzi there.
Yeah.
And then I looked her up on Facebook, and I was comparing like her picture with a lot of profiles. And then I sent her the picture when I eventually found her profile on Facebook. And then I told her, "Is that you?" So that's how I actually approached her. And then, but at the end of the day, appearance is just like the exterior. And I think what we look for is someone who can, be by your side, like...
Once you got past that.
Yeah, once I got past that.
First you saw her in the middle of a crowd.
Yeah.
She attracted you, right?
Yeah.
But you were attracted by her looks.
Yeah, exactly.
But once you got past that, what was the next thing that attracted you in her?
Yeah. Not only her looks, it was like a logical deduction that I thought, I think she's a good person. And she was wearing like decent clothes, and I thought, this is a respectable woman and a decent woman, so I'm gonna talk to her and see how it goes from there. And then after we got past that, I started learning that she was self-taught in a lot of different things, which I am as well. So she used to play the piano and the violin, and that was, those qualities were like really attractive. And she also spoke a little bit of Korean. So those things were like really...
So the whole package attracted you, huh? Almost the whole orchestra there, violin and piano.
And then that's something that I really wanted to know more about her. And since I also have a background of traveling, I used that to my advantage. So I told her, you know, I've been to London because I met her in Brazil. And, you know, she was very interested in that. But then I told her, you know, I'm going to tell you my story, but tell me your story first. So I was making her curious about knowing more about me. So that's how we started like talking. And then I saw that it was a match and we had the same interests. And one of the things was she spoke English, which was like a differential. And since I'm an English speaker and also an English teacher, so that's something that really caught my attention. And I started talking to her in English and she responded. So I thought, you know, this is going well because she has everything that I'm looking for. And well, yeah, that's where we that's where it all started.
And it's been 3 years now.
Yeah.
It's been 3 years. Well, since we've met, it's been like 4 years. We've been married for 3 years. So like after a year, we decided to get married and just, you know, travel.
Nice.
I want to read here a comment that someone left on our Facebook page. It's from Kelly Louise, and she says, real men look for a woman who is mature and respectful, but humble and fun too. Someone who can take care of their home. A friend who will listen and build a future with. Someone he can count on when all others fail to understand or see his future plans. Someone who encourages him to be a better man. Someone who respects herself and others, especially family, so he can be sure you'll respect his family too. Someone who acts like a real lady, not shouting or being loud and letting her emotions rule her life. How does that sound, Emiliano? You who are the only bachelor here. How does a woman like that sound?
I mean, well, the person that commented, she said quite a lot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, some aspects I do agree, but then personally speaking, I would say from my experience that a woman that is confident would be a lot more attractive. That's just from my point of view. Someone that's not afraid to speak, and someone, well, like the commenter said, that takes care of herself and is not shouting everywhere and, you know, very loud. But that's just a few points from my side.
So, based on past relationships, I believe you had some.
Yes.
Yes. So, was there any experience in which you kind of thought you were going to find what you want in a woman, but it kind of didn't go the way you expected?
Actually, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How was it?
So,
without naming names or anything, but
what had actually happened was that we both reached a point, but then I wanted to go that way, she wanted to go that way. And then when it came to that point, it's like she showed her true colors. So it's like for that whole year and a bit, it's like she was hiding things. But then when it came to making that decision, you know, she just showed who she was, and I was like, whoa, okay, there's something not right here. But yeah, so that's how it ended. So I went one way, she went her own way. But
was anything specific that you could pinpoint now? Something that you saw that wasn't what you were looking for in a woman?
I think with her was she didn't know what she wanted. She really didn't know what she wanted. One day she wanted to be, for example, a makeup artist and a hairdresser. Then based on that, I was like, okay, no, you don't know what you want. You don't know, you haven't reached that stage yet where you're ready to take the next step. So I thought, okay, you know what? Let's just leave it as that.
Good, good.
Yeah, and we had some, we went to the street to ask men and women their opinion of what men look for in a woman. So let's take a look.
What do men want in a woman, in your opinion? Who wants to go first?
Well, I suppose I look for someone who can understand me. Somebody who has a lot of probably patience is what springs to mind. Someone who I can just get along with, and someone who, you know, maybe doesn't have too great expectations of me.
Probably peace of mind would be a good way to say it. So they want someone that's quite educated. I think probably my personal kind of tastes are coming through, but it'll be educated, quite funny, laid back, not so much focused on appearance so much, more personality. Just real women, I think, is probably the best way to put it, as opposed to, I don't know, some kind of superficial show, basically.
I'd probably go off the vibe I catch off the person. If I can just connect with them mentally. I'd probably say they have to be quite laid back as well, and they definitely need patience for me.
Oh, it's really funny. I saw this video about like what men want in women, and it was money, sex, and independence. However, I do believe that men maybe want some different things as well. I don't know, a woman that rests in herself or knows what she wants for herself and for a relationship, strong in themselves, self-confidence.
Yeah, I mean, I think that as long as they have physical traits and beauty, they are going to be curious about them. But I think that for women have it harder than men, because they really must be good looking just to gain the interest of men. Like if you have an interest, and men are going to like you for the way you are, like for your mind and the way you behave with people, and like the way you go through like life and this kind of things. They're going to find you more and be attracted to you more.
That's
yeah.
I just want to hear from them, because that's an interesting point.
Yeah. So Alex.
Yes.
How's it going?
Fantastic.
Good. So you guys engaged?
Engaged.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Good. So what do you have to say about the comments on the streets, especially this last one, which was quite interesting?
Yeah, it was very insightful. When I was watching it brought me back to the things that I saw in my fiancée at the time. Obviously, as you said, I'm engaged. It's turbulence, but it's really good, the experience preparing. But going back to the comment of the last lady, she said that a lot of things that were inside, she did say about appearance, but then she said that the mind, sometimes it intrigues a man. When I first obviously met those at the time, my eyes were on everything. Like I had eyes on every detail, obviously because maybe experiences has taught me just to be a bit more cautious. And I think what came out flagged was how she approached life. We got on very well. I started off obviously speaking about my past, things that I may have gone through, and she spoke about. Mm-hmm. And something that was interesting is that I call it the washing machine, meaning that you'll get thrown in the washing machine, life turns you around, and you come out. Mm-hmm. And when she would speak about the difficult moments, she was always calm, resilient. And that stood out to me, and I thought to myself, wow, this girl, she's resilient, she's still on the same track. Mm-hmm. And I remember right in the beginning when we were speaking, she said, look, Alex, the kind of woman that you need someone that will be there for you no matter what. And I thought, what is she coming at here? But it's exactly what, I thought that was really interesting, being really strong in mind.
So that came from time spent.
Exactly.
By talking, getting to know the person.
Exactly.
Not only based on the appearance.
Yeah.
Like one of the questions we had to answer, like the only question we answered today in our Dear Love Talk segment. Men who have a hard time getting past the appearance, the looks. And we can see with Alex, though, as you said, you considered that too.
Exactly.
But once you start talking to her, the person she is really draw your eyes to her.
It's as though I forgot everything else. Not that obviously I overlooked her looks. Very beautiful young lady. But I think what stood out for me, what made me confident that I can keep going and have someone next to me, is that I've got a fan. Mm-hmm. I remember I made a comment with her, just a random comment. I said, you know what, I'm gonna apply to be the president. She said, well, I'm gonna be the first one to vote for you.
Come on.
To have a fan.
Exactly. So even though it was something light, but I looked into it deeper than that. So
one thing that also is very interesting about this comment is that women sometimes, they are very worried about the looks. Like she said, if the more beautiful you are, the more chances you have of being noticed. But many women forget that, okay, that's the first impression, but there has to be more to it. So sometimes they hide even their personality, which is nice, who they are, which is nice, just to impress men. But then, like you said, there has to come a point where that is okay, you liked, but then what else?
Sooner or later, you're going to have to face the facts, right? Yeah. You can't hide behind a mask, or in this case, a makeup, or clothes, or some sort of appearance for the rest of your life, right? Sooner or later, you're going to find out who that person is. And if the man or the woman is not willing to dig deeper and find out more about the other person. So, you know, it's gonna backfire in the future. And like the comment you made, which you said is an article, though it sounds like a hoax to me.
Yeah, it does sound, but it was there.
The man
so
decided to leave the woman because he saw her without the makeup. That's ridiculous.
Well,
the least.
Let me read here some more comments. This came from our Instagram. It's from BTKZ. Without a doubt, someone who is secure within themselves and is able to be both a friend and a partner. But us men also have to be able to reciprocate. And then Manuel Raymond said, I look for a woman who respects herself, is responsible, and someone who will make me strong. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Charles? Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. From my background, as you can see, I'm not a young man like these guys. But I've had experiences in the past. You know, as a young man, appearance obviously was the first thing you look for. But then when you go out, you could be on a date, and then suddenly you're no longer interested because it's just the appearance and there's nothing to it. The character is really important to me, and I see that as a package. You need confidence in there. A confidence, if a woman is not confident, for example, emotionally unstable, not sure of who you are or what you want, I think that's a big letdown for me. It just puts me off completely. So if a woman is confident, that for me, even if the woman is strong, there are many things you can work on. Yeah, does make sense? Yeah.
I believe Dave must be very happy because I believe that's what you found in her.
Yeah, and the thing about it is you look at a woman, you get attracted to something. Sometimes you see a couple working, you see this very short guy and this tall like a model, and you think, what does she see in him? But there might just be something, the way he makes her laugh, or just some features there. But that confidence is really important to me. And the woman has to be secure in herself. If you're emotionally imbalanced, it's a no-no. And the respect, when we talk about respect as well, is how she carries herself. How you carry yourself in public when you're together. That's really important. She might be just speaking in a flippant way, and you might just think, no, that's not respectful to my character, to me. So you look at it in a different way. I see it as a package, but all of those features need to be there. The person needs to be confident in themselves. Even people might say, oh, it's not intelligent. Intelligence, they might have some, how would I say, some skill or something that makes you think, I like that. You look at these things, and this is what you go for a woman. Your character is really important. Many issues you look at in there. So,
Very nice. Well, Daisy said last week, I like intelligent men.
So, there you have it.
You have it, Charles.
So today's topic is quite hot right now. It's getting really good. We're getting really good comments from our panel. And
since today I'm the commentator from the social media, I'm reading the comments. In the next segment, I want to talk about two things that people were really commenting about, and I want to ask our panel about it.
Good. So let's go then for a short break, and after the break, we will be back with our Love Talk Show.
Do you know what intelligent love is? But you can find out on our site. It's lovetalkshow.tv. Many people, they struggle in love, in their relationships. They keep losing their hearts, their feelings, and everything always goes to waste. So if you want to learn to love intelligently, that's the place you should visit. lovetalkshow.tv. We also have our Facebook page, our Instagram page, Love Talk Show. So visit us.
I just agree with everything she said. Welcome back to the Love Talk Show, and today's topic is what do men look for in a woman? And we have some comments from our Facebook page.
Yes, and Instagram. We had quite a few comments on the subject from both men and women. One that stood out, many people commented that I want to read two here. that they are similar. Sibon, she said, respect and someone who will be their supporter, like their #1 fan, which goes with what Alex said. And then another one, Michelle, she said, men love to feel respected. But then some people disagreed with that. Said, why is everybody talking about respect? So keep that one in mind, because I have another one and I want your opinion on that. Someone said, it was Rebecca Jones. She says, a man looks for his mother in a woman, someone who will take care of him. And then there was disagreement on that, because no, a man doesn't want a mother. Da, 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 da. And then Rebecca replied, explaining herself, she said, no, they don't like to be mothered, but they like the same qualities of a mother. It's kind of like, I want the qualities and attributes of my mom, but not being my mom. So, on the respect and on the mother thing.
Yes, let's go over respect first. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I can start. Like, I think at the end of the day, when you're like working like the whole day and you go home, I think you expect a mother figure, like someone who will take care of you and, you know, be there for you. I'm not saying in the sense that she's gonna be like your babysitter,
treating you like a child.
Yeah, she's not gonna treat you like a child. But as a man, you work like the whole day. Of course, she might also work, but then you want to be like cared for when you get home. You know, you don't want to be worried about other things, because I think that. Men really have like this pride that they won't, they want to be like respected from other people, going with what she said about respected. But in his own house, he might need someone to talk to about things that he wouldn't talk to anyone else, who he think, for example, he wants to talk about something that is very personal. He can't talk to that with his supervisor or anyone else. Which would make him seem less strong in a sense, right? So he has to keep up with his pride and his looks and his reputation. So he needs a mother figure, someone who will talk to him, who will give him advice, and who will care for him. Even if it's like, for example, we get beat up a lot during like our work and our spirit goes down. So when we go home, we just want to like lay down and somebody to just take care of us and say, it's gonna be okay, you know?
I would say I totally agree. I do agree with him, but I'll look at it this way. You know, women, they are. Should I say they have a lot of qualities
Charles, please.
they have qualities that men don't have. They can multitask in many cases, and I don't want another mother.
Okay.
Does it make sense? I had one who treated me in a certain way and with love, but you want some qualities that taking care of, like he said, you know, in her, but you don't want your wife to mother you. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a thin line there, where you want someone to, like you put it, someone to be there for you, to care for you, but not necessarily, you know, mothering you.
No.
It's like you want someone who will take care of you as a mother, but not treat you as a child.
Yeah.
Right?
You know, and you might look at some of those qualities. You know, your mom's cooking is awesome.
That's what I was going to say.
And you want her to maybe have some of those, but you don't want her to be nagging you and talking to you like a child. Go ahead.
Sometimes, I was going to say, sometimes you're like so beat up by work that you just want to go home and eat some like homemade cooking and even cookies straight out of the oven, and you don't want anyone else to know about it, you know. So maybe that will.
I think in general, because a woman, she has that built in her already. So I know sometimes you don't really want to be speaking to your partner and you see the face of your mum. You don't want that. But
away from that.
But I think for what Charles is saying is that he doesn't want to be. It's like a remembrance. Everywhere he's going, he feels, okay, I've got to answer for. But just that general sense, because it's the intuition.
You mentioned about the food. For example, if you like your mother's cooking and then, you know, your wife cooks perhaps at the same level better, so you forget your mother's cooking. But if she doesn't, you're going to keep remembering your mother's cooking, right?
Absolutely, and keep reminding her.
Let me hear from the bachelor, please.
What I would say is that I wouldn't necessarily call it a mother figure. I would say more of a friend, if that makes sense. So of course a man, you know, like Charles was saying, he had a mum that was a specific way. My mum was a specific way, so I wouldn't want, you know, my wife to be exactly like her. That would actually put me off. So I would say more of a friend, someone that you can relate to, but not as you would with your mum, but on a different level, of course, because you're...
Yes, the idea is more of the approaching, right?
Yes.
The approach your wife may have towards you that will somehow be similar to the way a mother approaches a child, in the sense of taking care, looking after. But not necessarily being your mother, because that would be too much. It's not going to work.
Yeah, because it's very different, you know, mothers with boys and with girls. I don't have brothers, so usually with boys, mothers, like, they do everything, and they, you know, and with girls, like, pick up after yourself. And I guess most boys grow up used to having someone to do things for them, and they just get used to it, I guess. And they like when they find that, you know.
We still have a few more interviews from our street chat, and after that we're coming back to our lovely and manly panel. Let's take a look.
What do men not want in a woman?
I don't like uptight women who take themselves really seriously. That's probably the main thing for me, yeah. I'm quite a laid back, I like to joke around a lot, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, to add on that, I think, yeah, somebody who isn't over serious and neither has too high an expectation. You know, somebody who wouldn't not hold themselves accountable to some things, but then expect that in or from me as well, or the people that they, well, yeah, me, I suppose. It's not going to be people if it's my wife.
Someone who doesn't bring out their trust, maybe. I think a man wants to feel backed up, maybe supported, even though they're not present in their presence of the woman. They want to feel like peace of mind that they can actually leave their girlfriend, their partner, etc. That trust element, I think, is what maybe men are looking for.
What I think men don't want in a woman is definitely insecurity. That they don't want dishonesty. I also think that they don't like, I don't know, a not healthy body, maybe not necessarily a perfect body, but someone that are conscious about the way they look, the way they present themselves, and the way that they take care of themselves.
What are you looking for in your future wife, say? And is it different to what you're looking for now?
Yes, because maybe I'm not in that stage where I'm looking for a wife right now, but I think family first. They obviously have to click with my family. They have to be a family person. They have to emphasize more on keeping and grouping a family together, keeping a family together. I grew up in a culture where families are very important, and I think that has to also be important in my future partner as well.
I think when I look for a partner, you look for someone who you can be with long term, so yeah, same thing.
Any specific traits for you?
Traits. What about you?
I would say they're probably a more enhanced version of those kind of qualities that I look for in general. If it's going to be somebody who because if you're thinking about a wife or a marriage, it would be a long-term commitment, and that would need to be with somebody who does understand me, I can get on with, and I am attracted to physically as well. So,
Personality, characters, anything like that?
yeah, I mean, someone who I suppose can give as good as they get, someone who I can get on with, someone who doesn't take themselves too seriously either. Yeah.
Laid back and understanding. I think that's quite important for me as well, yeah.
So, something that drew my attention right now is how difficult it is for a man
It's like the wires
to
go
describe
crossed.
a woman in the inside, right? It's so easy to describe the perfect woman on the outside, right? Yes. But it seems like it's hard for them to find the words and describe. It's almost like the reporter was putting the words in their mouth somehow.
Exactly.
So what do you guys have to say?
Well, listening to both of them, because it seemed as though it was tennis. One was feeding from the other. And obviously I know that when you're looking for, it's in our nature as a guy to look for the appearance. But I think a put off is that when you see that the woman is very uncertain, she she gives is as though it's a perfume, not necessarily perfume, but it's something about her. You're always unsure. If you're not close to her, you may be far, but you feel uncertain. You don't know what she's thinking. What does she really want? Because for me personally, past relationships, that was always a flag. I would always feel, what's going on? Where are we heading?
So you're saying she wasn't very transparent?
Exactly, very transparent. And I think from the get-go, if you, as a man, you know who, because for example, we as a man, you don't want another guy speaking to your partner. So you want that stability to feel, you know, I remember one case, you're gonna laugh, it's too funny. We was in the restaurant and I arrived to pick up my fiancée, just, you know, arrive at work. And I think another guy was in the restaurant who made a comment. Now those pulled him up as though he was like, when I mean pulled him up, she pulled the brakes saying, don't make a comment like that, he's here. I didn't say nothing, but I thought, yeah, that's it. So you want someone that's stable, someone that wherever she goes, she is as though she has that mark and she respects that as well.
You feel comfortable even when she's not close
exactly,
to you.
Exactly. It's really nice.
Talking about women, what you don't want to see in a woman, I would say nagging. If a woman nags a lot, that's not good. It's not a good sign.
You seem so calm, Charles.
Yeah.
So calm.
Well, but you know.
No, I know.
Yeah,
but I can clearly see that if she nags...
She nags, no, I can't handle it. I can't handle nagging. Also, women too, you know when a woman meets a man, I've noticed that before. Already, when you're dating, they're already thinking house, 3 kids, they're already planning ahead. Sometimes it's good for them to manage the expectations because if you push a bit too hard, then that becomes an issue for the man. So,
so it's a little bit of a pressure.
Yes, and men can't
you're trying to enjoy things now and see how things go. She's already thinking.
She's already thinking too far. You can see the men, they can't express themselves, but their thoughts are something completely different, but they will not come out and say exactly what they want. But, you know, as the interview went, you see, so.
Yeah, I think men have a hard time talking about like what women are inside because I think they just don't understand, like, women tend to be very complicated in, like, the point of view of a man. So I think they know what they don't want instead of focusing on what they do want. And the first thing, I think men just look at what they see and they don't go, like, further into that because they might be thinking of, I don't know, something else. Maybe most men don't really think of relationships until love hits them, you know, until something captivates them and they actually go in depth and find out what they actually want. So I think at first they don't think of. And
also, I think it's due to the way media, you know, nowadays portrays both men and women, but especially women, to the point where all they do is, you know, expose them in such a way that it's all about the looks, the appearance, and so on and so forth. But one of the things that used to put me off until today is women who are very loud. I don't know what you guys have to say about it, but you know, I couldn't and I can't stand. So no matter how good she looks, no matter how beautiful she is, no matter, none of those things matter once she's too loud, way too forward. So I don't know what you guys think about it.
I would say, just going back to the point, of what a man wouldn't want in a woman. I would say a man wouldn't want a woman that has a mask on, in a sense, as in, you know, they're one thing in front of you, like when you're on a date, they're one thing, then as you go further down the line, you start to discover who she really is. So I think a man would want a woman to be very open. Not, of course, expose everything, but very open, very, very honest from the start so that, you know, they don't get surprised later on down the line.
Of course, yeah.
Just to add on to what Emilio was saying, that I think it's something that you want straight away when you speak to her, because you, as a guy, naturally you want to impress. So we tend to, you know, we pretend, we try to say things, but then you want to know what does she really want with life. You don't really. He mentioned something that was interesting, that when he was in a relationship, she didn't really know where she was going, and so you really want someone that's going to be standing next to you. When the storm hits, you don't want her running for cover, you want her to be marching with you forward. So I think a guy, he doesn't want someone that's unstable. I've got to stress that, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I understand it.
For me, I think it's very simple. Men are simple, women are complicated. You're correct? For example,
I haven't agreed. But I'll be quiet.
If you look at the shopping
Even
pattern,
if I wanted to agree, Charles, I wouldn't do that right now. Okay?
Maybe after.
An example is this. You know the women, the shopping pattern. Yes? The man goes, pick up the stuff, go straight to the till and out. But the woman goes round and round. My wife knows this. It's better you go your
But does your
shopping
wife
round.
at the end manage to buy anything?
Sometimes.
Because someone here takes all the time, and at the end, there's nothing here for me.
So
can be helped sometimes.
But that's the whole point. You like we were saying before, you know, one of the reasons why men sometimes cannot express themselves well when talking about what kind of woman they're looking for or what they want to see in a woman is because they don't take time to understand women, right? I wouldn't say that women are complicated.
Thank you.
They're different, right? Yes, we are much simpler, no doubt about it.
That's very true.
Yeah.
But that's the you know, the sacrifice man has to go through, which to understand women. And
It's the price you have to pay, darling.
So we're gonna go for a short break right now, and after this break, we're gonna come back with our panel and give our final conclusions. Okay, stay with us. Hello everyone, we are here to invite you to our Love Talk seminars every Thursday at 8 p.m. on the address that you can see here at the bottom of your screen. You can also find more details on our website, lovetalkshow.tv. You find events throughout the year. They are all free, where you're going to learn a lot about relationships. You know, singles and couples are invited. Our desire is to share with you a little bit of what we've been through, and also, you know, help you with prayers, with advice, with counseling, down-to-earth teachings in which will help you become a better man, a better woman, a better husband, a better wife, and see, you know, better results of your investment when it comes to relationships. Okay, every Thursday, 8 p.m., Love Talk Live on this address here that you see at the bottom of your screen. Welcome back to the Love Talk Show, and in case you missed our first 3 segments, we are talking about what do men look for in a woman. And back here with our panel, which you guys are doing very well so far. And one thing that our reporter shared with us off record just now is that she was very impressed with the way men approach the subject. According to her, men were more open to discuss the topic than women. Quite interesting.
That impresses me,
yeah.
In fact, I think.
So guys, conclusions now. So
nobody has spoken about the respect thing. I'm still waiting.
Yes, that's how I want to conclude, talking about respect, because I think that's perhaps one main thing. So let's conclude, let's wrap it up, talking about respect, right? So people mention the importance of respect, which goes both ways, men and women, right? So let's hear from you then.
I think obviously when speaking about respect, it changes a person how they look. So if, for example, you meet a beautiful woman, she looks beautiful, she speaks eloquent, she behaves in a very good way, but she disrespects you, she becomes ugly. You don't even, you become angry, your jaw is tight, you don't want to speak to her because she doesn't know how to put you in high regard. Because it feels good when your woman respects you, you feel as though confident. You want to go about your other tasks in life more confidently. But if she disrespects you, it touches your armor more than anything else. I've spoken to friends of mine that they felt disrespected. The whole day they were angry. They didn't know what to do. It seems as though it touches a nerve that's in us. Even if you're the most quiet guy, if you're most polite, someone disrespects you, especially a woman.
I think, actually, just going by what he just said, I think it's because men naturally have that trait of pride. So of course, when they get disrespected, automatically they put up an armor and it's like, no, automatically the woman's disqualified in a man's eyes. So I think respect is very important because you know it's like you were saying before, it's coming from both sides. You know, if one respects this one, the other one, it will automatically flow. But if there's disrespect, especially from a man's point of view, in his mind it's over.
Yeah, I think men want to be respected, and if they can't get respect within their own household, you know, then it breaks their spirit and they feel less of a man in some sense. So if a person can get respect from everyone except for the woman he loves, he feels like it was a failure and he feels like he's less of a man, and I think that's why they look for respect within their own house, you know. And also, he wants to be like a good partner, so he feels that he should respect her, and if she doesn't respect back, if it's not reciprocate, then I think it's just off-putting and it's over from there.
For me, I think it's both ways. If you respect your wife, your woman, and you should respect for you to expect that. If you don't, and you expect that and think, oh, I'm the man. I don't think that's the right way to go about it. But if the woman doesn't respect, perhaps it's an inherent thing in her.
Because if you want that, like, sorry to cut you, to impose that manhood, so you're not gonna reap respect. You're gonna reap fear.
Yes.
Right? And that's not what you want. You want respect.
So it's a mutual thing. It's how you take care of her as well. You should respect her as well. The way you know, in public, even at home. So for me, it's a two-way thing. If that's not there, fine. But if you respect her and she doesn't respond, there's an inherent problem there. That's
yeah. We see that respect is paramount, right? In everything in life, there must be respect. Respecting time, respecting the other person's space and freedom, needs, respecting oneself, right? If you don't have self-respect, how can you demand respect from others? This goes both ways, men and women. Respect is vital. If you respect, you're not only looking superficially, you're looking much deeper, and that is essential for a relationship to work. So both men and women can see the fruits of that relationship. You know, without respect, that relationship is going to turn into a big mess.
Yeah, some people, I mean women, they complain when they hear that men want respect. Everybody wants respect. Women all want to be respected too. I think they think it's that thing, you know, men are not going to say what I'm going to do, who am I going to be. It's not about that. Exactly. It's about the fact that you also like to be respected.
And we're not talking about reverence, women showing reverence towards men to the point where he's up here and she's down there. No, we're not talking about it. We're talking about, respect. Because nowadays, you know, there's this idea that if you show too much respect towards a man, it seems like a weak is going to step on you. It might be the case. It might happen. We know that. But show respect and you're going to gain some. And you're going to get respect by respecting yourself, not giving yourself away too easily to the point where in the future you won't be able to demand any from anyone. Right? Sure. So we'd like to thank you guys for coming. It was a pleasure.
Insightful.
Very, very nice to have you here. Your comments were really appreciated. I believe it helped a lot of men out there. Right?
And women too.
And women too. So this is it, guys. We're done for today, and until next time, bye-bye.
Bye.
And that's all for today's Love Talk show. Be sure to tune in next week to learn more on how to love intelligently.